In just 60 days, Florida State football will be back on the field, and the 2025 season is shaping up to be one of the most critical in the program's recent history. Florida State is gearing up for a high-stakes non-conference showdown with the Alabama Crimson Tide in a newly renovated Doak Campbell Stadium, and the eyes of college football will be watching. But there's a bold prediction floating around that could shake things up even more. According to Brett McMurphy's early bowl projections, Florida State could end up facing off against Deion Sanders and the Colorado Buffaloes in the Sun Bowl this December. Yes, you heard that right. Florida State could square off against Coach Prime himself in what would be an absolutely electric matchup. Before we dive into the juicy details of what makes this prediction so intriguing, let's set the stage. Florida State football is coming off one of its most disappointing seasons in recent memory. Under head coach Mike Norvell, the Seminoles finished with a below 500 record for the third time in his 5-year tenure. With the program at a crossroads, Norvell made major changes in the offseason, bringing in new faces on the coaching staff and adding key pieces to the roster through the transfer portal and recruiting. But here's the thing, the Seminoles can't afford another subpar season. For Norvell and the program, the 2025 campaign is a make or break year. The goal is simple: get back to a bowl game. If the Seminoles can manage to accomplish that, they'll start to put some of the off-season criticism to bed. But the bigger question is, where will they end up? That brings us to the Sun Bowl. While not necessarily the most glamorous of postseason games, the Sun Bowl could provide the Seminoles with one of the most fascinating matchups in recent memory. That's because, if McMurphy's prediction holds true, Florida State would face off against none other than Deion Sanders and his Colorado Buffaloes. Now, this wouldn't just be another game. There's history here. Deion Sanders, known as Coach Prime, is no stranger to Florida State. He starred for the Seminoles back in the 1980s, cementing his legacy as one of the greatest players in FSU history. But after Sanders took the head coaching job at Colorado, he quickly made headlines with his bold moves, including flipping 5-star recruit Travis Hunter from Florida State. That move, along with his ability to pull in top-tier talent from the transfer portal, has only intensified the rivalry between Sanders and his alma mater. And don't forget, Sanders wasn't even considered for the head coaching position at Florida State when the Seminoles were searching for a replacement a few years ago. That has only added fuel to the fire. When you add up the stakes, the storyline is impossible to ignore. Florida State and Colorado are two programs at very different points in their respective rebuilds. For Florida State, it's all about redemption. Norvell is trying to prove that his changes can bring the Seminoles back to prominence. For Deion Sanders, it's about continuing to build the Buffaloes into a powerhouse, all while dealing with the loss of his star players like Travis Hunter, Shadir Sanders, and Shiloh Sanders. This would be a game of two teams, both with something to prove, clashing on a national stage. Let's not forget the talent. Colorado's rise under Coach Prime has been meteoric, and after finishing last season with a solid 9-4 record, they're hungry for more. They fell short in the Alamo Bowl against BYU, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Sanders has managed to turn the Buffaloes into a team to watch. This upcoming season will be a test of Sanders' ability to adapt without his son at quarterback, a challenge that will certainly be under the microscope. On the other side, Florida State is looking to rebound with a much improved roster. Norvell has made significant strides with his recruiting, and the Seminoles have one of the most talented squads they've had in years. But the question remains, can they execute when it matters most? The Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas is scheduled for December 31st, 2025. If these two teams face off, it would be a game to remember, full of drama, redemption, and high stakes for both programs. Florida State, trying to return to relevance, and Deion Sanders, continuing his quest to build Colorado into a national contender. Could this prediction come to fruition? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain. If Florida State and Colorado meet in the Sun Bowl, college football fans will be tuning in from all over the country to watch what could be one of the most intriguing bowl games of the season.